Hello there.
General Kenobi.
We are going to do this thing called a Star Wars challenge. I don't know if this is actually a trend, but I found it on Twitter. So I'm going to look at it here. I'm going to give you my answers. So before we get into it, get a good look at the questions before we start it. And tell me what yours are if you want to. But we're just going to go through it. Number 1, favorite trilogy. What do you think? Original. That's not a question. Favorite couple. Couple, I'm gonna have to go with Han and Leia on that one. I would say Anakin and Padme, but their lines are so cringy in the prequels, and I don't like sand. That's all I have to say. Favorite character from the original trilogy. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go with Vader. Vader, Anakin. That's my favorite character of all time. But second is Han Solo. Han Solo. You can't go wrong with Han Solo. But I'm gonna go with Vader for this one. You just know why. Just look at him. He's scary. He's awesome. He's got the voice. He's got the breathing. Everything about him is awesome. And then the prequels add more to his story, which makes it even awesomer. Number 4, favorite character from the prequels. Once again, Anakin. Anakin. I know a lot of people don't like Anakin. They think he's whiny and whatnot. But I think Hayden Christensen did a good job portraying Anakin. Because, what if we made Anakin this perfect dude who never did anything wrong, or it would have made his fall convincing. Like, I think Hayden did a great job kind of portraying Anakin in the sense of that, he fell. And you also have to remember, Anakin is pretty freaking young during the prequels. He's, in episode 2, he's like, 19? And then episode 3, he's like 22. So he's really young when this is happening, okay? Just remember that. But I really liked Anakin in the prequels. Favorite character from the sequels? Babu Frick. Love that dude. Favorite trio? Now this is a tough one. I had it down to the original trilogy. Han, Luke, Leia. And I also have the Clone Wars. Anakin, Rex, Ahsoka. And I'm going to have to go with the second one. Anakin, Rex, Ahsoka. When I see them together, I get about 10 times happier. Luke, Han, and Leia make me happier. Don't get me wrong. But Rex, Anakin, and Ahsoka, that's just a unique trio. Their first interaction is hilarious. When Anakin calls her Snips and she calls him Sky Guy. It was kind of cringy, but then Rex laughing made it pretty funny, I guess. But other than that, great stuff. Great trio. I love that trio. It's too bad they had to go their separate ways. Anakin, what did you do? Number 7, favorite friendship. Anakin and Ahsoka. That thing makes me so happy when they're together. And then to see what happens at the end makes me sad. Tears. Pain. A lot of pain. So, yeah, we're going to have to go with that one. Number 8, favorite droid. There's a tie for this one. There's a tie. R2-D2 and C-3PO. They're the first characters seen in Star Wars in Episode 4. They're in all the movies except for Solo. And they're awesome. They're always awesome. R2 and 3PO always end up saving the day or something. 3PO's got his funny lines every once in a while, which is hilarious. I thought that was great that they incorporated him in The Rise of Skywalker. Kind of made him one of the most important characters in the whole thing. And then R2, always saving the day in the prequels, the original trilogy, and then even in the Clone Wars and other stuff like that. So I love R2 and 3PO equally. I could never choose one over the other. Number 9, who would be your Jedi Master? It's a great question. I don't want any of the Jedi. I would want, technically Qui-Gon is a Jedi, but I want Qui-Gon. Because, he's not all about that politic war stuff that the other Jedi are all about. Qui-Gon knew what was right and what was wrong. So I'm going to have to go with Qui-Gon there. He knew the difference between a good Jedi and a bad Jedi. He knew that the Jedi were corrupt and that they had their issues and he was different from them. That's why he was not on the council. So I'm going to have to go with Qui-Gon Jinn, even though he died. Number 10, favorite lightsaber color. I'm going to have to go with blue on this one. Just plain and simple blue. Number 11, light side or dark side? Dark side. because you get to have emotions. If you're on the light side, you don't get to have emotions. Now, the dark side, you know, I think, honestly, this is pretty obvious, but somewhere in the middle is the perfect, because you get the light side, the good stuffs, you get some of the dark side, but, you know, you get my point. So I'm going to have to go with dark side if I have to choose one or the other, but if I had to go with the middle, I'd have to go with the middle. 12, sorry. Overrated character. Gonna have to go with Rey. Sorry, all you sequel fans, but let's be honest. I think Daisy Ridley did good for what she was given, but the writing for her character was just not that good. She was never given problems. She never failed. I don't know what else to say. People are gonna hate me for saying that. You know, they're gonna say what they want, but you know, okay, whatever. Underrated character. I'm gonna have to go with Qui-Gon. He's only in one movie, but I think he's a very important character. He discovers Anakin. He's one of the few definitions of a true Jedi. Him and Ahsoka are the only two I can think of at the moment. They realize the flaws of the Jedi. They realize that the dark side is still bad, and they also, you know, kind of help Anakin out in a sense, I guess. Qui-Gon founded Anakin. Ahsoka was a big impact on Anakin's life. But I'm going to have to go with Qui-Gon for one of the most underrated characters in all of Star Wars. He's the whole reason everything happened, in a sense. Kind of. You can make a lot of arguments there. 14, favorite ship, the Millennium Falcon. Second, though, is going to be a TIE Fighter. I like the sound of the TIE Fighter. 15, saddest deaths. That was a tough one. I was thinking about it. That's a tough one. There's a lot of sad deaths in Star Wars. Qui-Gon's is pretty sad. Palpatine's second death was sad just because of how it happened. Not like sad in the cry sense, but sad because of they could have done better. I'm gonna have to go with Anakin though, both times. In episode 3 / Clone Wars, I guess. And then in episode 6 when he comes back and then just dies. All right. Favorite cast member, Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is absolutely hilarious. I don't care that he wanted Han Solo killed off in episode 5 or episode 6. He is still hilarious, and I still love him. Harrison Ford is hilarious. But that is a Star Wars challenge. I tried to do this as quick as possible. But, yeah. Woo! Tried not to get too controversial in there. There was one answer that I'm sure a lot of people will dislike. Or a good chunk of people. And I'll get called names for it. But you know what? Deal with it. It's my opinion. Okay? If you don't agree with my opinion, just tell me you don't agree with my opinion. Don't need to scream, call me an idiot. But, yeah. More stuff this week. Yeah, I got a surprise video for this weekend. I don't know if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday, but look out for that. And then also just random stuff, but next week is race week. So, yeehaw.